Hello, welcome to my channel. Grab a blanket, a pillow, your fan, your sword, whatever that you feel makes you comfortable, and get grounded with me. Maybe you are feeling a little bit scattered. Maybe you are feeling, when you're watching this video, you're feeling a little bit worrisome, you're feeling a little bit uncertain. And here's where I welcome you to the mat, to the floor. Get grounded with me. We are remembering that this is why you are here. Some things to note. One, we're not robots. And this is not where life is. Life is supposed to be an adventure. It is living in the uncertainty. It is living in the pattern disruptions that hold us back. It is living in the unknown, the uncertainty, the adventure of life. This is how life begets life and how we expand. And here's the thing. You are not supposed to know exactly how things are supposed to go. That's the beauty of it. So if you're up to something new, if you're up to things that are scary, then good. All the newness and scariness only points to the direction of expansion, of growth. And here's why it doesn't necessarily help for us to stay fearful and protective in a way to where we are stagnant, because there's no life when you're stagnant. There's a difference between being stagnant and being still. Being still enough, like in your rest time, right? Where rest is productive, but rest does not have to be a means to get somewhere. It is the receptivity of it, right? Stillness has reception. You are able to receive yourself and the wisdom within you. But when you're stagnant, stagnant means this place of stuckness where you're ruminating in a loop. There's a pattern. And what needs to happen is a disruption. Just like scrolling through social media, and we're seeing that we've wasted so many hours because we're in the loop. Which, by the way, if you didn't know this already, when you're scrolling through social media, your nervous system is in a freeze state. And because our world is addicted to the scroll, the dopamine hits, the cheap dopamine, that's why it no longer feels good. There is some truth that we're all awakening to when it comes to connection. We are thinking that we're scrolling to connect to people when really it provides such a low standard level of connection. Even sending memes or reels to each other, that's not real connection. That is like, I understand you, okay, that's it, and we move on. But it feeds into this like really devastating vicious cycle of dorsal state, your free state of your nervous system. And so why do we want to keep doing that to our friends and our families? Are we able to hold an actual conversation that has depth, that has beauty, that has reverence? You know, there's studies that show short form content and cheap dopamine hits really affect your brain. And here's the other thing, something that's near and dear to my heart. Alzheimer's actually starts with your lifestyle around your 30s. So if we are not learning how to deal with our emotions or deal with like the reality of life or what's so about life, and we go to social media to scroll, we go through any cheap dopamine hits, right? This instant gratification world that we live in, and trust me, I'm working on this myself. We're not going for perfection here, but I just want to bring to light that there are different ways for you to connect with yourself. And because this channel is all about training for capacity, right? The capacity to live the life that you've always dreamt of living for yourself, in your world, in the family that you have or someday hope to have, right? And so one of my clients came to me during our session, and she made a huge decision. This decision she's been working on for 2 years, and it's a patience game. That's something that she has to wait for, there's a lot of things that are out of her control, but she's been showing up as much in control as she can be. So this is where God source comes in. Anyway, she comes to me and she says, the thing that I'm up to is very scary. And I woke up with like nightmares, and I'm trying my best to not make it mean that this is not going to work out for me. After all of the effort and sacrifices and choices that I've been making to make this happen, I do not want to just let these nightmares, I don't want to make it mean anything. And so to that, I remind her that when you're up to something new, if you're building a capacity for a larger life, most likely you are making choices to become a different version of you. And sometimes it's not all sunshine and rainbows. The young mom version of me would catastrophize everything because, one, she didn't know anything that she's doing. She's doing these things for the first time. And two, I conceptually understood that this is going to be a hard job, but no one's ever like sat down and told me that, one, is normal to catastrophize. The other thing is like, oh, I am creating a new role for myself. I said yes to this new role of becoming a mom. That also means that I need to build a larger capacity. I need to train myself to hold a larger capacity of life. That also means the paradox of being able to have reverence for the positive things in life, to be able to celebrate life, joy, bliss, peace, all of that, harmony, balance, and to be able to have reverence for the negative parts of life, the sadness, the disappointments, the sorrow, the grief, all of those things. That is what magnetism is. If you see a magnet, there's polar opposites. There's the positive and the negative side. That's what magnetism is. And with magnetism, you are attracting whatever attitude that you're having about your life, right? And so this is why this channel exists. I want to let people know that there's other ways and reframes for you to think about your life. We take moments like this to get ourselves grounded to what is so. The faster that you can get to what's true for you in any present moment, the easier it is for you to understand that, one, it's all temporary. We are always in transition. This is all transitionary. Even though our nervous system or our thought patterns or ruminating thought patterns are stuck in a loop, they might be stuck in a loop of, it feels like this is forever. That's why this video is here for you, to remind you that nothing is forever. It's all transitionary. We're all elevating in each and every choice that you make. It is a new experience to a new segment of your life. Two, the other thing too is acknowledging that this is your path. Success might have left clues, but this is your first time experiencing this moment right now. We must give ourselves more grace. If you have that ruminating thought pattern of like, it shouldn't be this way, or I was expecting this and that, take a moment to zoom out. Zoom out. Right now, whenever you're in those moments of the loops and you keep hearing the same phrase over and over, right? Phrases like, I shouldn't be doing this, or like phrases like, why me? Why is this happening to me? Why is this, like, any phrases that you hear over and over again, that's a signal that you're in a loop. The other thing is notice, and I like to think of this as, I said this to my brother the other day, and it really helped him. It's just as if like you're in the ocean. If you're ever in the ocean, or if you watch Moana, You know that part in the movie where she gets like all jumbled up in the ocean? I forget what the name of that is. But you have to get to a certain point to be able to go through the calmness of the ocean. That rustling and being underneath the wave and things like that, that is what your emotions can do, right? Emotions are energy in motion. And so when we have these ruminating thoughts and we hear those emotions, it's because we're in the wave. We're letting the emotional wave be us. Side note, this is why it's so important for women to self-pleasure, because you learn to ride the waves, the intensity of the waves. We can talk about that in another video. I just wanted to anchor that in here because I feel like that's important. Okay, so when we are in the emotional waves of whatever thought patterns is going on and we're stuck in that loop, right? We're stuck in that loop. Then, if we notice ourselves avoiding that loop, then we get stuck in the loop and we're sitting with that loop and we're just sitting with it. And here's a great reframe. We are in the ocean feeling that you're like stuck and you don't have any control of how your body feels. You're like the ocean is taking you over. We're humans. One, it feels like that, right? It might feel like that, but we have the brain and the body to take us out of that and help us zoom out. Zoom out, take yourself out of that emotion and witness it. Meaning you could be the person that is sitting at the shore watching the sunset or the dolphins or watching the waves crash on the shore. You have to zoom out. That helps a lot. That's helped many, many of my clients in the past, like many, many years I've used the zooming out portion. But it's only recently that I understand myself and use and helped others notice that they're in the waves crashing. This is probably why the Gen Z or like there's lingo about crashing out. You know, I'm also using that as well. So language, so beautiful. Anyways, when you notice that you're in the loop, you can just zoom out and notice the truth. The truth that is this moment is transitionary. It will pass. All emotions pass. 2, if you keep avoiding it by numbing yourself through doom scrolling, putting your nervous system in a freeze state, you have the choice to move. Move your body. Get grounded. Feel your body's weight on the floor. Take the next breath and make a new choice. New choice, new segment. When you're up to new things, what naturally comes up is everything that is not in alignment with that, the non-agreement to that new thing. And when we're training for capacity, we must remember everything is transitionary. That means it doesn't last forever. Make friends with our emotions. You can witness your emotions and feel through your emotions. You don't have to become your emotions. You don't have to become your anger, become your sadness, thus leading to depression, right? Depression, like think of the word. You're bringing down your expression, depression, expression. What is the antidote to depression is expression. I know it is so hard because nobody taught us to feel our emotions. Just notice what's true for you right now in any present moment, not thinking of the past, not thinking of the future, that is enough. And that is where inspiration is. That is where you can get your next move, right? And you can develop that self-trust in yourself. When you're up to great things, when you're making a decision to commit to something bigger, a version of you who has not been here before, everything that's not in alignment with that will show up for you to deal with. And you can deal with that because you will simply not have the opportunity if you weren't ready. The universe, God, source, however you call, will simply not give you the opportunity if you weren't ready. So if there's an opportunity right in front of you, that means that you are ready. You are ready to face all the things that you've been avoiding, procrastinating on, okay? And I know you clicked on this video because there's something inside you that led you here. So this message is for you. Know that you are loved. You are always supported, safeguarded, and protected, okay? More than you know. more than you know. And if you don't know that, give yourself the opportunity to be held in the comments. I hope this video was helpful. I really hope that it gave you some value and helped you really see things differently so that you can give yourself more grace and compassion, and also know that you're not alone. Okay? Also wanted to note, I'm thinking about doing hot seat coaching, live calls on Zoom. I really want to do it on a weekly basis. If you're interested in free coaching, please sign the form down below in the description box, and then I'll reach out to you, and then we can get this thing started, because I am here to empower people and to help them train for a larger capacity of life. Because why not? You deserve to have the life that you've always want and dreamt of. And you do have the opportunity to do that. Okay? Okay, it's all within you. You can do this. Bye! Also, thanks for letting me bring my sword to the space. Because I love the sword! I love the sword. It is my friend. Maybe sometime later on, I want to share on what the sword means for me and why it's on my logo and my business. Yeah? Does that sound good? Leave some love in the comments if that sounds good for you. Let's do this thing together. Let's do life together, guys. Okay. Bye!